72 from last time. So they're calling it the same exact thing. So the pattern book people just wanted a more challenging design. This centerpiece here, which is like a piece of leather, we're not going to drape that piece. I'm going to drape the 3 panels in the front and the 3 panels in the back. These extra accessory items you can do as another layer if you wish to add that, but none of this is required to be sewn exactly. I just want to show you the difference. Now, starting out here on the dress form, Maddie, you had asked about this. When we do the bustier, we just pin it down. Yeah, we get it out of the way so it doesn't increase the amount there. It gets it closer to the body. And for the sake of the design, I'm going to try and follow the lines of the book. I might alter them slightly in length. That feels no good. And then we'll go from there. So loosely attaching it on center front and aligning it at the bust just to start. And we're going to do this first line, which is very curvy, but rather than ending on the princess, it starts in again. So this first line is more about maybe where this guideline is. This inches wide. I think I did it at about 3.5, but I'll double check that for you. 1, 2, 3, about 3 1/4. And so right where the princess approximately is, and then I'm gonna bring that line inward. Okay, and then for now, just to the hem, but if you're looking at the design, it does curve slightly upwards. So I'm gonna just maybe give myself about a 1-inch hem allowance here, and then just do a slight curve line, all right? And then once I get that, you wanna come along the other side, Christine, if that helps? Because I'm doing pencil, I can't do pen on the form. I'm going to cut away a big inch because I just don't need all of this. All right, so one of the things the text does, rather than tucking under on this design, they're actually doing their seam allowances outward. So we're going to follow that example. It's just another method of draping. Before I move further, the shape of this does have a sweetheart shape here. So I'm going to draw that in as well. Okay, now if it helps you, instead of drawing the lines, to use tape and get a better visual on the video, we can get that as well. All right, it could be straight across, it could be lower, however you want that line. All right, I'm going to take another panel that I've recycled from my A-line skirt because I didn't bring enough fabric to do this one. I prepared for the other. And then I'm going to look at this next section, which is fairly narrow. It looks to be visually maybe a maximum of 2 inches. So I'm going to, for starting out, I'm just going to lay it in close. And then I'm going to drape like the book recommends on this one. I'm going to drape my design line to the outside. So giving yourself more than seam allowance, so that way you can mark your seams on the outside, and then when you go to test it with sewing, the lines, those will be your stitching lines, right? I'm going to pin let this fall first, and give yourself that little extra, and pin this. And if it comes out good, it might make the line. I have been so busy moving, I haven't designed anything new in a while. Okay, so just at first, just get it kind of a gentle design line close to what you're sketching. nothing set in stone yet, but just to get your pieces aligned. Now, there's a tendency to want to pin everything into the form. Pin the fabric to itself at first, and then when you start smoothing it, then you can, you know, get in closer. Okay. So now, I'm going to cut away some of this. Before I do anything though, I've got this one indicated as center front. I'm going to call this one F middle, front middle, so I know when I take it off what it is. And then I did have a side front prepared here. And this piece is actually a little wider through the hip, similar up here, not too much showing. So just kind of pencil that in, and I'll get a black mark, a black drape to show you as well. Okay. All right, so here again, I want an inch above where the hem's going to be. I'm going to take tape and kind of put in a line of where I think that should go. Now, I don't know if any of you have looked at Joseph's work. He's already been working away on this one. I know some of you started on this already. But see, this is not, you know, placed exactly where I want it quite yet, but it's going to give me a visual. And I'll go in and I'll get these pieces nice and close and trim it up a little closer. Okay, so for now, I don't need this anymore. Always helps to get rid of some of this stuff as you work so that you don't lose sight of what you're doing. Maybe something here. And as I go toward the hem, it comes in much narrower here. So drape that. And I guess the thing to do is as you're draping, because if you think of your muslin like clay, let the form tell you where the lines should be rather than fight the form. You're trying to get something that looks like the picture, but the dimensions of the dress form are really they're the boss. So. If I'm working with a real stiff fabric, I would want to get a nice, really tight fit with foaming, right? For like a more of a corset type. But if I'm working with making this a dress, and I'm not going to do all the structure, I'm not going to go that tight because it won't hang properly. So you need to let the fabric determine. And the end result determine how you want to drape it. Okay, so this is a little different technique with the seams on the outside, but you may find that this is useful to you. I think of the two methods that they're showing in the book, this is my preference on this example. All right, so the next thing I need to do Is it looking fairly decent? Not too many pulls? Okay, so I want to know where is my side seam, right? So I'm going to put that in. I want to know where my waist is, so I'm going to give myself that waist notch. Here, I'm going to kind of pencil in the seam that I would want. And you can see there's a little bit of ease falling in on each side here. So you need to allow that to happen. If you try and stretch that out, it's gonna just pull. So it's better to sew the ease as opposed to trying to pull it out. If I was working with a knit, I would pull it out because the knit will give. But on a woven, not so much. Okay, so I would mark that on both sides. Do the same thing here. And then get this side as well. And then as far as my notches, I want a single notch here above the bust and below the bust. So you want that on both sides. On this one, I think I had you guys do the notch down toward the hip area, right? So it's not, well, maybe go a little bit lower still, so not to confuse with the waist. So you get all that carefully marked. Establish this hem the way you want it to be. This is a little bit more rounded. You could go straighter. If you wanted straighter, you go round if you want round. I'm going to just follow that round mark for now. Rounder mark, I should say. Sort of kind of gradually. And again, make sure I get where my side mark is. And then as far as the starting point, if I use this bust tape as my guide, as my underarm, then I'm going to just draw in a little bit of an armhole there. All right? Stop, please.